Back and have a few tips for you today. As we get into these this period of high gold prices, we will see much more new jewelry coming in, jewelry that looks like it has not been worn much, and perhaps could be scam gold. People making up fakes to rip off gold buyers, and I have not seen a lot of that recently, or even during this most recent increase in the gold prices. And I'm glad of that. But I do expect it and watch out for it. So this piece comes in and it looks very new with very little wear. The first thing I'm going to do is check in between the links for wear and a different color down in there. Now you want to be able to test something like this without ruining the piece and then giving it back to them and having them say, well, you know, you ruined my piece and I'm going to take you to small claims court or something goofy like that. So I normally start out with my good stone, my flint stone, and do a test on there, and if I'm satisfied with that, I let it go with that amount of testing. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So on this piece, when I pulled it apart and tested the wear area of the one of the larger links, and I always try to go with testing a link that's not at either end and not in the center, but somewhere in between those 2 points, I think works best. And so it checked out fine on the fine stone. And then if I was still concerned about the piece, and I was, then I went over to my coarse stone and I tested it on there, and it checked out fine on there. And to be quite honest, it was probably more like 9.8 carat. It was slightly under carat, or it seemed like it. Now I went ahead and paid for it as 10 carat. Now, and this is for your walk-in buyers, or walk-in sellers, I should say. But the seller was from out of state, and so that was a bit of a red flag. But then again, you know, if that person's coming in from out of state, chances are you're not going to have somebody come looking for it as stolen property. So, you know, it's good and bad, but, you know, you want to watch the person because they could be trying to pass something off fake on you. Now, it checked out on the coarse stone also, so I did not feel like I had to file the piece. Now, if I would have had to file the piece, since it was a nice, quite new chain, then I would have probably asked the person, you know, I'm going to damage the piece in order to check it out and make sure that it's gold. So I didn't have to do that. I went ahead and approved it. But the actual gold value on that's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $360. It's a 10 karat gold chain. So you want to watch yourself on that and do all the due diligence you have to, and if the person does not want you to go the distance on testing it and you are not comfortable with it, then you know, you have a decision to make. Either send them out the door, or you know, pay them so little for it that it doesn't matter if it's a fake. But you're probably going to want to just let them, you know, let them go to the next guy. Now this piece here I bought, I don't know, probably a few months ago, and there's no reason at all to suspect this to not be good. It's just a little, well, actually quite large, lab created emerald on a 14 karat white gold chain with a 14 karat mounting. Now it's all marked beautifully, and I did not use a magnet test on it, and however when I did, it hits the chain rather well, a mid-link, and I haven't tested the female side of the clasp, but it did hit it too. So, you know, I really don't have an explanation on that. I don't know if it was specifically made up as a scam piece. It does appear like the mounting is all good, but that the chain is all bad, which makes absolutely no sense. I mean, the chain is less than 2 grams. Probably more like 1.3 grams or something like that. So I cannot imagine that somebody would have made that up as a scam piece. But I suppose at these rates it's possible.